Welcome to Learning English with Common Ground International. My name is Misty Davidson. I'm an instructor, an ESL instructor at Common Ground International. I'm glad you decided to join us today. Our lesson today is about the simple present and the present continuous in English. We often wonder which one do we use, and that causes a lot of confusion for people learning English. I hope to clear some of that up today. Let's talk about our objective today. By the end of this lesson, you will know how to form the present continuous tense. You probably already know the present simple. You will know how to use it and when to use it, and when to use the simple present. The problem is English has two present tenses, the simple present and the present continuous, which is also called the present progressive. You may have heard it both ways. They're both correct. The present continuous is the ing form of the verb. There are specific rules that tell us which tense to use. And we actually use the simple present more often than the present continuous. Many people learning English overuse the present continuous, but we actually use simple present more often. So if you're not sure what to use, if you use simple present, you will be correct more often. Let's talk about the simple present. You probably know the simple present. Let's do some examples. I work in a bank. You work in a bank. He, she, or it works in a bank. We work in a bank. They work in a bank. It's just the base form of the verb, or for he, she, or it, we add an S. Now, when do we use the simple present? How do I know, well, I need the simple present for this? Let's look at some times. We use the simple present for a repeated action, a habit or routine, something we do over and over and over again. Every day I go to work. I go to work on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. Every morning, she drinks coffee. Over and over again, a habit, a routine. On Mondays, he doesn't drive his car. This is a routine for every Monday, what he does not do. I call my family twice a week, a routine. Do they travel to Chile every summer? Again, a routine. What do they do every summer? These are when you use the simple present. We also use the simple present to communicate facts or information. Paris is the capital of France. That's a fact. It's information. It's always true. My neighbor has 2 dogs. It's just information. It snows in the winter. Information. A fact and information. When we have words showing time order, such as first, next, then, after that, we use simple present because these show habits or routines. I wake up at 6 a.m. This is a habit, a routine. Then I take a shower, another routine. Next, I eat breakfast, another routine. After that, I leave for work. We use simple present with words that tell how often you do something. For example, if you always do something, that's a habit. Often, usually, sometimes, rarely, never. These all imply a habit or a routine. We always watch TV after dinner, on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Does he often eat hamburgers? Is that a habit of his? They rarely work late. She never buys eggs. So we use simple present for routines, for habits, for repeated actions over and over again, for information or facts, and for words that tell you how often you do something or sequence, order things. Let's talk about the present continuous tense. We're going to talk about how to form it, how to ask questions with it, and then when we use it. So you can see we use simple present for a lot of things. That doesn't leave a lot more for present continuous. We need two things to form the present continuous tense. First, we need the be verb. We need am, are, or is. It has two parts, and we need the ing form of the verb. We have to have both to be correct. If you leave out am, are, or is, you're not correct. If you leave out ing, you're not correct. We're going to say, I am working today. Am and ing. We can also say, I'm working today. We can contract it. You are working today, or you're working today. Am, are. Here's is with third person. He, she, or it is working today. He's working today. She's working today. It's working today. My computer's working today. It's working today. We are working today. We're working today. They are working today. They are working today. Let's talk about present continuous in the negative. I'm not working today. Two ways of saying it, both correct. You're not working today, or you aren't working today. You're not means you are not. You aren't means you are not working today. He's not working today. She's not working today. It's not working today. Or he isn't working today. She isn't working today. It isn't working today. Let's look at the plural. We're not working today, or we aren't working today. They're not working today, or they aren't working today. So to form the present continuous, you need am, are, or is, plus the ing form of the verb. To ask a yes or no question with the present continuous, use this formula. We reverse subject and am, are, or is. Am, are, or is, plus subject, plus the ing form of the verb. Is he reading his email right now? Is, subject, and ing. Is he reading his email right now? What's the answer? Yes, he is. No, he isn't, or no, he's not. Are you cooking dinner right now? Are, subject, ing form. Yes, I am. We use be in the answer. No, I'm not. Are they driving to school today? Yes, they are. No, they aren't. Or no, they're not. To ask a WH question in the present continuous, we use this formula. WH plus am, are, or is, plus subject, plus the ing form of the verb. Where are you going? WH, are, subject, ing. To my sister's party. What are you thinking about? WH, are, subject, ing. About how much I love chocolate. Okay, so now you have the basic structure of the present continuous, be plus ing, asking a question, reversing be and the subject, and then the WH, putting the WH in front of it. We're going to talk about when do we use the present continuous? How do we know that we use present continuous and not simple present? The most important thing is we use present continuous to talk about what we are doing right now. Not a habit, not a routine, but right now. Often it might be different from what we do over and over as a routine or habit. Sometimes we change our routine or habit. Or sometimes we have a routine or habit, but we're doing something else right now. We look for certain words that tell us we need the present continuous. These are signal words. These tell us we need present continuous. If you see now in a sentence, that tells you you need present continuous. If you see right now, if you see at the moment, today, these days, this year, this week, this month, this time. That means we need present continuous. For example, I am listening to the radio in my car right now. I drive to work every day. I'm driving right now. I am listening to the radio right now. She's not doing her homework at the moment. Maybe she does her homework every night, but at the moment she's not doing it. Are you studying English this year? We're not talking about what you study every year, but just this year, right now. What is he reading in class this week? Not every week, but this week. Sometimes we mix the two tenses in one sentence. I usually drive to work, but today I'm riding the bus. I usually drive to work. My car is in the shop. So today, right now, today, I'm riding the bus. She often watches TV, but tonight she's working on taxes. She's broken her routine. Just tonight, right now, she's working on taxes. So we use the present continuous for right now, the simple present for a routine over and over again, the present continuous for now. Let's talk about another use of present continuous that you may hear. We can also talk about or use the present continuous to talk about the near future, something that will happen fairly soon. Tomorrow, I'm traveling to New York. That's present continuous. Tomorrow is pretty soon. We wouldn't talk about 10 years from now, but tomorrow I'm traveling to New York. In 3 days, he's coming to visit. Again, present continuous, near future. Okay, some additional rules, important rules. I've just talked to you about how we use present continuous for right now. I'm going to talk about some exceptions to that rule. There are times when we use the simple present, even if we are talking about right now. There are 7 types of verbs that almost always take the simple present, even if we are talking about right now. These are the exceptions to the rule. You know by now, English loves exceptions. The be verb. Most of the time, we just use the be verb in the simple present. I am a student. Yeah, I am a student right now. I'm always a student, but we use it in simple present. That's just the rule. Verbs that show emotion like love, hate, like, or dislike. I like vegetables, but I dislike meat. That's true now, it's true always. They show emotions, we use simple present. Verbs that talk about your senses or your appearance. Hearing, seeing, taste, smell. How you feel, how something sounds. How it looks or how it seems. You look tired today. We're talking about today, not every day, but it's a verb of appearance. He's coming. That's present continuous. He's coming right now. I see him. I know I see him right now. I use he's coming in present continuous because it's what he's doing right now. But I see has to do with the senses. So we say I see him now. Simple present. Verbs that express a need or preference. Want, need, or prefer. My refrigerator broke, and I need a new one now. I need it now, but we're expressing a need, so we use simple present. I prefer apples to oranges. I prefer that now, I prefer that always. We use simple present. The 5th type of verb, verbs that show a mental action. Think, agree, disagree. These are all things going on in your head. Know, understand, remember, believe, mean, guess, worry. These are all things going on in your head. Now that he explained it, I understand it. I understand it now, but it's a mental verb. Last year, I didn't know much English, but now I know a lot. We're talking about now, but we're talking about mental action. Okay, the sixth type of verb that is the exception are verbs that show possession. I have something. I own something. This belongs to me. Last year, I rented last year, but this year, I own my own home. It's this year, it's now, but it has to do with possession. She has many interesting books. It's a fact. It also has to do with possession. And the final type of verb telling us that we use simple present even if we mean now, are verbs that show measurement. Cost, that measures how much money. Weigh, owe, how much money you owe. This year, groceries cost more than they did last year. This is a measurement verb, even though we're talking about this year. I owe my brother $5. I owe him now, but it has to do with measurement, with how much money I owe. Okay, now that we've done all that, it's time to do some practice. You need to fill in the blank in each sentence with the correct tense, either simple present or present continuous. I will give you some time and then we'll talk about the answer. First one, Mrs. Smith, the verb drive, her children to school today. Okay, this is right now. Mrs. Smith is driving her children to school today. Number 2, Miguel, and then the verb eat dinner in a restaurant every Saturday. If you have eats, you're correct. It's a routine, simple present. Miguel eats dinner in a restaurant every Saturday. I in the negative of wear my uniform right now. I'm not wearing. Present continuous, we're talking about right now. I'm not wearing my uniform right now. I usually wear it, but not now. Number 4, I think Bill is sick. He, and then the verb look, very pale today. Pale means no color in his face. Okay, we need simple present, even though we mean right now, because it has to do with appearance. He looks very pale today. Okay, what blank you and then verb do today after work? What are you doing today after work? We're talking about today, not every day. What are you doing today after work? I'm going to a football game. Number 7, his alarm and then ring every morning at 7 a.m. Okay, this is a routine. His alarm rings every morning at 7 a.m. Okay, the birds and then sing beautifully this morning. Are singing. This is this morning, not every morning, this morning. Number 9, Japan, be, verb be, in Asia. Japan is in Asia. It's a be verb, it's also information. Okay, this is a tricky one. There's 2 of them. Tom always, verb wash his car on Sunday. Today is Tuesday, so he, and then negative with wash now. There's several different ways you can do this. I'll give you some extra time. Okay, let's see how you did. Tom always washes his car on Sunday. Simple present, it's a routine. Today is Tuesday, so we can say he isn't washing it right now. He isn't washing it now, or he's not washing it now. So we've used both tenses. Let's do some review. English has 2 present tenses, the simple present and the present continuous. The present continuous uses be and the ing form of the verb. The simple present is for routines, habits, things we do over and over. The present continuous is for right now or the near future. There are some specific times when we use simple present, even if we're talking about right now. And we talked about all of those 7 different times. We use the simple present more often in English than the present continuous. So again, if you're not sure what to use, you will be right more often if you use simple present. And there we have it. Thank you very much for tuning in today to learning about simple present and present continuous. This is Common Ground International, Learning English. I'm Misty Davidson, and I'm glad that you were part of our day today. Hope to see you again soon, and thank you and goodbye.